Hi friends, thanks for joining me. Welcome to our monthly collage collaboration. So this is an open collaboration. If you would like to join in, you can. You can join in anytime, and then you're not even committed to do it every month. You can pop in, pop out, whatever fits your life. You can use this as an exercise. You can use this as an opportunity to create freely, to have fun, to create something that's just relaxing or exciting, just whatever emotions that come out of you when you're creating your collage. That's an experience that you're having, and that's what we want to share is our experience. So I will have all the collaborators listed in my description box. I know this month that there are at least 3 new collaborators. I'm so excited. I want to thank you for joining in, and I've got my friends that have been joining in since the beginning, and I want to give you all also a very sincere thank you. I find collage to be a wonderful form of self-expression and can be very therapeutic as well. This month, we did the hashtag You Didn't Know, and the goal was to create a collage about something or some things that perhaps your YouTube friends don't know about you. And I thought it was pretty broad, and I thought it was interesting that even though it's pretty broad, some folks, I heard back from some friends that said they were kind of having a little bit of a hard time with it. But maybe because it is so broad. But you could pick just really anything. So anyway, I just encourage you, if you want to join in, you have all day to do it and load it, and you are welcome to do that. So hashtag You Didn't Know. Well, guys, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to be really honest, there are a lot of things that you don't know about me. So many life experiences that I have had. So we might even do this hashtag again down the line. But let's focus on today. Today, I am focusing on what you didn't know about me was that I have lived in 6 different states. I have moved many, 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 many more times than that. I stopped counting, I think, at 22. But we're not focusing on the moves. We are focusing on the 6 states. So when I was born in the Washington, D.C. Hospital for Women, but I lived in Virginia. So that's the first state I lived in, was Virginia. And Virginia was my home for the first 7 years of my life. We moved when I was in 3rd grade. Maybe I was a little older than 7. Maybe I was 8. Anyway, somewhere around there. And I loved Virginia. And I still love Virginia. It's so beautiful and green. And as a child, I always enjoyed that it snowed every winter. And a lot of times it would actually snow on our Christmas vacation. And that meant that there was frequently snow on my birthday, which is 2 days after Christmas. So I always loved it so much. And of course, as a kid, I didn't have to go out and shovel anything or drive in it. I just got to go play in it and, come inside and get warmed up. And so I have very, very fond memories of my time in Virginia. So when we left Virginia, we moved to Maryland, and we lived in Maryland for, I don't really know how long. It wasn't that long, actually, and we lived in a couple of different places there. When we lived in Maryland, for a little while, we had a crab restaurant, and so you'll notice that I put this food in the upper corner of the collage, and it's actually seafood, and that represents some of the time that we lived in Maryland. After Maryland, we moved to South Carolina. And when we first moved there, we moved to, I think it was it was Myrtle Beach. It was Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. And it was an interesting time. It wasn't great in the first part of when we lived there. But then we moved, and we actually moved into this house. We rented it, and it was right across the street from the beach, and there was a resort there, and the beach was right there. And it was really I think that's when I really started to absolutely love the beach. It was an escape for me, and I would just walk over there by myself and kind of get away from everything. And I would go up to the tiki hut, and I think they, like, the guy at the tiki hut thought I was that thought my parents maybe were staying at the resort, and so he would give me Shirley Temples, and I didn't get charged. And I just, it's just a funny thing that I remember. But I remember walking over there and just sitting in the sand and just listening to the ocean. And even though I was by myself, I loved it. I loved the solitude, and I loved watching the people and listening to the birds and listening to the ocean. And it gave me such peace. So, like I said, I think that's where I first started to just love the water, and I still do today. After South Carolina, we moved to New Hampshire, and it was not my whole family that moved to New Hampshire. It was my sister and I, and we had to stay with our step grandmother. And that was a weird time too. And she was kind of crazy. So, but she was just mean. And so there was some just stuff that she was just mean. But you know what? Let me just be honest real quick. I always kind of felt like Cinderella. I felt like she was like the evil, like stepmom, but she was the grandmother. But, she did always like cook us breakfast, and I remember having hot chocolate there. And so there were some things that I liked, but there was some things I didn't like too. But I was amazed at how much more it snowed there than it did in Virginia. Like literally, it was like 3 and 4 feet high snow. And so that was my first time experiencing that much snow, and I enjoyed it. I thought it was kind of cool. I did go to school there. This particular year that we moved, I was in 3 different schools in this particular time period. And then I'm trying to remember. It's kind of confusing, but yeah. So anyway, after we left New Hampshire, we spent the summer traveling on the road with a band, and then we settled in Georgia, in Atlanta, Georgia, to be specific. And we lived in a couple of different like townhouses and stuff when we were there, and I was there until the end of 5th grade. And so Atlanta, well, I didn't like it. Atlanta was not good. It's not that Atlanta was not good. It's just the time in my life in Atlanta was not good. And so I would not, I don't know. It just wasn't good. Once we left Atlanta, we came here to Florida, and we settled in the Pinellas County area, and I have lived in Pinellas County since that time, and that was in 6th grade. I remember coming here and being in 6th grade. So, and I've been in Pinellas since. Now we lived in a lot of different places in Pinellas County, but different houses and stuff. But this is where I've been since. And I will be honest with you, in between third grade and then getting here by 6th grade, so there was a lot of jumping around, as you could imagine. and you know, none of those other places I really called home. And then we ended up here, and then we were like here, and it was a weird adjustment to be in one place for a long period of time. I mean, I was so used to losing friends and having to make new ones, and just a bunch of different dynamics, and it was a strange adjustment. And then the weather here was so extreme, and I can remember for so many years being so sad that it was so hot here during the holidays and during my birthday, and there was no snow. It never snows here, and that made me really sad, and it took me many years to get used to it. And I did not want to call it home. And I used to tell everybody, if I die, do not bury me here in Florida. You need to take my ashes to Virginia. So as time marched on, and I got more used to it, and I've really learned to embrace the wonderful things about it. And the summers are still really tough on me. I don't tolerate hot weather well, so it's really hard on me, and I complain a lot in the summertime. I admit that to you. But you know, we also do, you know, we have a lot of sunshine, and I always kind of make a joke, I love being out in the sun when I'm in the shade. And it's true, I have to have either a tree or an umbrella, but you know, I love the water, and I'm surrounded by it. I can drive a few minutes in any direction and basically hit the water. So it's really beautiful, and I do love that. I've tried to embrace the beauty and the active lifestyle that we have down here. So I do call it home now, and of course I've raised my kids here, and they know no other place to call home. So anyway, that's my collage for this month. It's that I lived in 6 different states. I've visited many more than that, and I've moved many more times than that, but I've lived in 6 of them, and so I thought that was something interesting to share. And so I really appreciate you hanging out with me and watching me do my collage. Thanks for watching. See you soon.